Remember me? Now then, welcome to the video. First, I'd like to say a big thank you to all you likers, watchers and subscribers. And also to some very nice commenters. If you've got out to say, or you've got a question, or even an idea that you want us to try out, why don't you stick it in the comment box, wherever you choose to put it this week, and I'll do my very best to get back to you. If you're a first time viewer, you won't have seen in my last video when I told you my van had been nicked. So I had to take a little bit of a hiatus. And some of you asked, where are you? What are you doing? So to the both of you, in this week's video I'll explain where we've been and what we've been up to. So what happened was my van got pinched. I'd parked it at the side of the road. I know I shouldn't have done. But I'd been working away, came back home and thought, it's late, I'll leave it till the morning. Everything will be fine. Well, it wasn't. During the night, someone borrowed my van. And when I got there in the morning to pick it up, all I saw was somebody else's car and a pile of glass. I called the police and arranged a lift to Lancaster. I had to call my customers and tell them I wasn't coming in today. I checked my insurance and thought, it ain't really worth claiming on. I'm not going to get a right lot of money for it. I pulled together all the tools I had left in the house and I waited for news. We didn't have the best weekend. Well, it wasn't a great week either. Right up until the Wednesday, when I received a letter through the post to say they'd found the van. It wasn't the police that called me. It was the recovery company. So I rang the police and said, I've been told my van's been found. And they said, no, it's still stolen. That's a mouthful. And I told them, well, the recovery company want me to come and pick it up. And they said, well, can you wait a couple of days? And I thought, I'm not paying any more storage fees. No, either go and sort it out or I'm picking the van up. Anyway, they decided I could take the van away. Much confusion later, and we raced to Wigan to pick up the van. And it didn't start. So we had to come home again. I had to arrange for transport to get it back to Lancaster. There wasn't that much damage. The locks had been drilled, the driver's side window was smashed, and there was 32 tyres in the back of the van. As luck would have it, most of my tools were still there. I probably lost some of the power tools really, but they weren't worth a right lot of money. They were quite old and to be honest they were at the end of their life really. I had a 30-year-old Black & Decker jigsaw that they pinched and right next to it was 80 quid's worth of hammers. Go figure. Anyway, all the damage was easily fixable, so I spent the next week or so fixing all the bits, getting rid of the tyres and getting some more tools. At the same time as this was going on, my diesel injection pump for narrowboat Laura was at Diesel Bob's. And that was getting to be a bit of a pain in the bum as well, because they couldn't get the parts. Once it was ready, I had to go and pick it up, and I had to fit it back on, and that's no mean feat with this stupid, useless finger thing I've got now. I can't tighten anything up with it. Once that were fitted, it meant we could move. Back to normal then, you would think. But no, all this stuff I had to do cost money. Quite a bit of money. In fact, I've got a rundown of just how much it did cost. You'll have to excuse the glasses, I ran over mine, so I've had to borrow the wife's. That's another story. Anyway, the recovery and the storage of the van cost me £210. The recovery to Lancaster cost me £240. Repairs to the van were pretty cheap, around about £150. And the lost tools, well, about £1.50. So that came to a total of £2,100. That's quite a lot of money, but I could stand that. It's the lost days at work that really killed me. 6 days where I couldn't really work properly. That really stung. But I am super lucky. I've got some good mates, and I've got some good kids too. Matt, me middle lad, he picked us up and ferried us round, and he did his best to get the van going. It didn't work, but we tried our best. So I'd like to say a big thanks to Matt for giving us all the help he could. Another bloke who gave us help was John, my mate. He's a mechanic. He has a big old mechanic's workshop and loads of tools, and he let me borrow them, all for free. Well, I had to buy some bits and bobs, but it was pretty much free. So I owe him a couple of favours now, which, in the round of things, it'll all pan out. But without these two people, the bill would have been massive. So, what did we learn? Well, I'm not keeping my tools in the van anymore. I've got less tools in general, so I'm going to work out a way of working with what I've got. The van needs better signwriting. I'm not going to keep anything in the van at night, unless I don't really care about it. And I'm not going to park it next to the towpath. I've got to check and make sure that my insurance is suitable for the way I work, live and use the vehicle. The upside is I'm going to get a motorbike. You'd think with all this time off work, I'd have loads of time on my hands. But no. Once I'd picked the van up and I'd done all the repairs on the van, I then had to think of how I'm going to pay for it all. We also had a couple of days where we sat and moped really because we were a bit down in the dumps about it all. Getting something stolen like that, it sort of takes the shine off the Canal life. The other thing was that injection pump. It took ages to get back, so we couldn't really move. And we're being busy, I didn't do many other jobs around the boat. I had to go back to work proper. And when I say proper, that's 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I took on a really big job. I'm hoping when this job's finished, then I'll be back in the black. Well, a little bit in the red. Oh, still broke. On top of all of this, my sister decided she wanted to move house. At the end of the day, this hasn't really stopped me loving being on a canal boat. It's just made it more difficult. But we've learned a lot, and we're taking those lessons and putting them into good use. I'm hoping now I'll be able to start making those weekly videos again. We have moved a few times, but that's another story. And I'm hoping also that I can put up that video of Glass and Dock in a couple of weeks' time. I finished editing it up and filming everything, and then one of the places decided to change its name. I might just leave it in. So what's coming up next week? Well, here's a sneaky peek. Oh, marvellous. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you click that little bell icon, YouTube will mind you next time we release one. Well, that's everything on my list. I reckon we'll call it a draw for this one. Till next time.